I was recently watching a video about like some surfing lessons and how like when you surf a wave, you try to do all this shit, and it reminded me a lot about life and how when you're just starting out in surfing, and I'm not an expert surfer by the way, I'm just kind of like a regular surfer, like a regular bad beginner surfer. That's funny, but like it reminds you of life, and it serves as like a great metaphor for how life is supposed to be. When you get in the sea, you're happy just because you're in the sea and you don't actually give a damn if you get what you want or not. It's the surfers that have the most fun just being out there that are actually the ones that get the best results, because you have to be totally detached from the wave itself. When you go out and you surf, you look at a surf, you look at a wave, and you paddle. And if you miss, you get up and you smile and you say, I'll get the next one. You'll go back out there, you miss again, I'll get the next one. And you have that mindset. That is the mindset that you need to have when it comes to your life. You need to have this mindset where it doesn't matter if you miss. The only thing that matters is that you try again over and over and over and over. But here's the caveat to this. If you go out and you fail and then you're miserable, I'm going to try again, and you're like hating yourself for it, won't matter. You're still going to be miserable. What you have to do is, I see the thought. What you actually have to do is enjoy the whole moment. Enjoy the fact that you're there. Like, how many lives do you think you actually get? For real. How many lives do you think you actually get? One. One. Just one. Like, you don't get a second life at this. You don't get a second go around at this. You only get one experience of life. And do you really want to spend any second of it like hating yourself, being miserable, like having this shit, like hating it? Because the waves are going to come. You're going to get wiped out and you're going to get tumbled underneath the wave. But guess what? That's life. And what are you going to do? Like, you're just going to sit around like complaining and moaning all the time? No. Like, you must enjoy the whole experience of life. Otherwise, you're just living a miserable existence. And what's the point of living a miserable existence? There are people, listen to this right now. There are people that are living lives that they love, that are happy. Okay, being miserable is not okay. It's not the normal thing to do. Not because everybody does something means that you have to do the same thing. Okay, there are people that actually love what they do, to the point where they don't do it for the money and they make a shit ton of money. I know a few of them. And then you're there like, oh my God, I need to be miserable. You don't have to be miserable. Nobody has to be miserable in life. Like, look at people. Look at the average person. Sit around, actually look. Don't just scroll on your phone. Like, actually look at people. They're dead. They're dead. They're dead. They are dead. They're sick. It feels like I'm watching someone that has leprosy and AIDS and every single disease that you know. They have it. They have it all. They're sick. Their soul is sick. There's no joy in their eyes. There's no spark. There's nothing. There's no feeling there. There's nothing. They're just there, existing, wandering around like NPCs. Their soul is dead. They hate their life. They live quiet lives of sad desperation, or whatever the saying goes. And here you are taking advice from them, trying to be like them. Why? Why are you doing that? Like, I'm being dead serious here. Like, don't you see there's a better way of living? There's a better way. Like, you can live the life that you want. You actually can. But you choose not to. Like, you realize that, right? You can actually live the life that you want. You don't even have to think about it. You can just live the life that you want. You can. You can have whatever you want and you can be happy. Because happiness is not attached to anything. Happiness is not attached to anything. Like, you can be happy right now. You can be happy right now. Or you can be happy in a yacht, surrounded by models. Or you can be very sad, surrounded by models. And you have to understand this thing also, that people think that the results, the change external, will lead to a change in internal. But it's the opposite. A change in internal leads to a change in external. We want to be happy and we want to be content and we want to have this feeling inside of us that we made it. And we're only going to get that after we have the things, the car, the women, the house, all this Uh, all this external validation. But that's not how it goes. The best way to do it, because that feeling is just going to get delayed, is the I'll be happy when paradigm. We're just saying, I'll be happy when I get this. I'll be happy when I get that. But you'll never be happy because you just keep moving the goalpost. If instead you say, I'm happy now, then you can actually get what you want and enjoy it. Oh, but I won't take action. I won't take any action. Look, when you're in this paradigm, you take action from the right place because you're not being driven by the things that you want. If you're talking to a girl and all you want is to get laid, because that's what guys seem to be worried about, like women, which I didn't want to make my channel about women, but I have no choice, right? That is how guys start this thing, so I have to help you with that. Look, when you're talking to a girl, you have to ask yourself, if you are learning the techniques, the tips, and the techniques to get her because you're just trying to get laid. This is something that Chase Hughes says, where he says, most pickup books, articles, techniques, tips, and tricks are viewed from the perception and the context that you have in your own mind. The idea is to trick the woman into sleeping with you. Like you're trying to trick her. Like you think you're not enough, and then you're trying to trick her. And every single influencer that you see these days operates in that paradigm. By the way, that's why they tell you to get in shape, to get the car, to get the money, to get all of this, and that helps with women. And yes, it does. But that's not the main thing. I've seen guys that are morons, idiots, get laid with hot women. And then they're how do you even explain that? You don't. Because it doesn't make any sense. But it does. And I'm going to explain to you why. Because they're not being driven by compensatory drives, things to compensate. That guy who's a bum who actually lives with me, he believes he's the man. Even if he isn't, he believes he's the man. So he doesn't view in this weird thing where he's doing all the shit to try and get to the place of the woman. If you believe you need money to get girls, what is that saying about your belief about yourself? You're essentially saying, I'm not enough. I'm not enough. I suck. So I need this money to convince this girl that I'm enough. And then you get into this whole relationship dynamic where you're fucked. This is how guys end up in the friend zone, waiting 3 months to get laid off of one girl, which doesn't make any sense. When she will just sleep with one guy within 10 minutes of meeting that guy. I've seen it. 10 minutes. And I've been both guys now. I've been the guy that waited and spent money and did all this crap and then saw the girl just make out with a random dude on a party. I saw that. And I didn't get bitter. I was like, okay, I'm doing something wrong here. But that happens. And you have to choose which guy you want to be. Okay? Because then you get into this sort of underlying thing where nobody wants to feel like they are giving more than they are receiving. A quick example of it. If I now go talk to you, if you're talking to a girl, if I go talk to you now as a person, not as a girl, like forget about it, right? Water break. And for every second that happens in the interaction, every 30 seconds, let's put more investment, right? You give me $100 bill and I give you $10. $100 bill, $1 bill. $100 bill, $1 bill. How long are you going to stay in that interaction? Not very long. You're just going to leave immediately. You might not even stay there. You might not even engage, right? And then people say, "Oh, you need to give equals amounts of value." No. Because if I stay there and I say $100, but I give you 100 and it's 100, 100, 100, 100, 100, 100, how long will you also stay in that? Not very long, realistically, because there's nothing going on there. You're not getting anything, right? But if I go into an interaction and I'm 100 and then you give me one, I give you 100 and then you give me one and I give you 100, how long will you stay in that interaction? Well, you will never want to leave. You're going to stay in there forever. If every time you see me, I give you a $100 bill in exchange for a $1 bill, you're going to stay with me forever. You're never going to leave. Now, what do humans want more than energy? I'm sorry. Fuck. What the humans, I just gave you the answer. What the humans want more than money? Energy. We want energy. Money is stored energy. So we have this energy. Right now I'm just giving you a fuck ton of energy. Which doesn't get transmitted that well through the camera. But I'm just giving energy, outflowing energy. Which is weird to like kind of do it in a camera, but that's fine. So when you're doing that, people just want more of you. Imagine you go up to a girl, right? Let's say it's a purely transactional woman type of girl, right? But they exist. But most girls aren't like that. Everybody's transactional in like an energetic type of way. And everybody wants energy. So everybody like, I'm not going to get into that right now, maybe later. So you're talking to this girl and then you want to talk to her, right? If you feel like you're taking from her, you're essentially in that dynamic where she's giving you the $100 bill and you're giving her the $1 bill. $100 bill, $1 bill, $100 bill. And then she's going to leave. That's why girls get rejected. Like when a homeless guy approaches you, that's what you look like to a girl. That's what you look like. Like a homeless person. Like, please give me sex. Like that's what you look like. Understand that, please, for a second. Stay with what I just said. You look like a homeless person. $100 bill. Give me the 100, I'll give you one. Give me the 100, I'll give you one. No girl's gonna want to even engage with you. And then guys, right? Guys, obviously, they go and learn pickup, and then they're like, okay, I now have $50. So they're like 100, 100, 100, 100. And that's fine, right? But then there's the other type of guy, which is the guy that's just in the giving paradigm, that goes up to a girl and it's like 100. Oh, 100, nice. Give me one. Okay, 100, 101. And then just in like this scenario where you're just giving energy. And then girls just want to be around you because you're just giving them energy. That's right. Like, girls just want to be around you because you're just giving them energy. Energy. You're not like, oh, please take. Like, even guys that like do pickup, they do it the wrong way. Their whole mindset is, how can I take, not how can I give? I mean, if you just give, you will see how your life changes. Why is that? Like I said, $100 bill, $1 bill, $100 bill, $1 bill, $100 bill, $100 bill, right? Instead of just taking, you're now at a point where you can actually just give. And in return, you'll take. That is a law of abundance. You believe that if you give, you'll get. But you're not giving to get, you're just giving. Like, I'm just giving here. Like, fuck it. Like, just give. Present, give. And I didn't want to turn this into a dating video. But it seems like I've gotten myself in it. So I'm just going to give it anyway. Because I actually like dating. I like the whole thing. I sucked at dating before. Now I'm a little bit better. Guys that struggle with dating, most times, 100 times out of 10, it's not because of a technique. It's not because of a line. It's not because of a tip. Like, it's because, that's funny. It's because they are viewing the world from the wrong frame, especially how they view the girl. They view the girl as a source of energy to take from. You want to get energy. Energy can manifest its way in many ways. Like validation, like money, like all of these ways are ways in which energy manifests itself. So when you're talking to a girl, you need to understand that you're most likely coming from the frame of you not actually believing you have enough energy and you're just trying to take energy. Okay, I know this is a little bit complex and it's not a line because you don't need lines. Like, I don't have a line. Like, I kid you not, there are times where I talk to a girl, I don't even remember what I said. Oh, what did you guys talk about? I don't know. I don't remember. I just talked to her. Maybe it's because I'm retarded. But I just talked to her like 5 minutes ago and it's like, I don't even remember. Like, he's like, yeah. I don't even remember what I was talking about. And I don't drink, by the way, so it's like, it's so crazy, right? But why is that? Because I'm not worried about a line. I'm not trying to take. I don't remember what I said to you 2 minutes ago. I don't remember how I started this video. Well, I'm trying to remember now. I don't remember what I did like last video. I mean, that's here. I don't remember. It's so crazy. It's so fun. I'm like looking at the guy. Right? It's so fun, right? But why does that work? It works because you're giving the $100 bill. Okay, and I'm going to go back into a little bit of spirituality here, which is essential for dating. Essential. Because Spirituality is all about yourself, right? And it's not about the shirt, it's about yourself. So, spirituality, every single text tries to tell you things in metaphors because it is hard to explain. If you ever read the Tao Te Ching, you will notice that one of the first things he says is that the Tao that can be spoken, the Tao Te Ching, the Tao that can be spoken is not the eternal Tao. The moment, this is a feel thing. A feel thing. This is not a logical thing. For example, I was somewhere and there was this guy talking to this girl. And I just looked at the girl and I was with my friend. And then I said, hey, she's horny. She wants to sleep with him. He's like, how do you know? It's like, is it her eyes? Is it her posture? I'm like, bro, I just know. I don't know why. I don't know how I know it. I just know it. I just know it. I just know it. And my friend is like, how do you know? I just feel it. And it's hard to explain like the feeling. It's almost like when you're walking and you look at a girl and then you connect and then you have that moment where you're like in the zone. And it's like, oh, that was a moment. You can't put words on how it feels like. It's just like a feeling, like energy. That's energy. You cannot describe it, but you have to allow it to flow through you and get it to the girl. All right, I didn't want to do a dating video, but look, you have to get it to the girl. That is pretty much how you get laid. And even what I'm seeing here, I'm feeding into a frame that shouldn't happen, right? This is how you get laid. This is how you get what you want. Like, that's what you sound like. Like you're this hungry homeless person that just want to take your food. You shouldn't sound like that, by the way. That's not, okay? That's why people want to do business with rich guys, because they have a lot of money. Okay, money, energy, they have energy. We want people with energy. Now, when you're talking to a girl, you have to understand that they care about energy just like everybody. So it doesn't really matter what you say at all. Like, you can come in there saying the most bullshit shit you'll ever see. Bullshit stories that make no sense. Like, and I bet you could pick up a girl like that if your energy is on the point. Why? Because the circuits in people's brain, there's two theories here. There's the biological theory, which is the theory about evolution, which is true, by the way. But you have the theory that this is all evolved biologically, and that the circuits that led women to finding guys attractive are primal, before language. So nothing you say matters. Because the caveman, right? The caveman, they didn't say a fucking word and they got laid. Because it's all about the presence, the energy, the flow, it's hard to explain, right? But it's all about that. It's not about what's the cold opener? What's a good opener? It doesn't fucking matter. That's old school shit. Okay, I'm not saying you should just go out saying boring stuff, but understand that your energy matters more than everything. So you just need to have good energy. Because that's where it comes from. That's where it comes from. The other theory is that it's all about the soul. It's all about spirituality and God, and the kingdom of heaven is within you, which is true, by the way. I'm going to get into that in another video. But the kingdom of heaven is within you. The energy is within you already. So you just want to give energy. And people want to give energy. And souls nowadays are so, this is like more spiritual. Souls are so depleted. If you look at a person and instead of looking at them, you try to imagine how their soul looks like, their souls look starving. So when you come in there with like a healthy soul in a way, and you're sharing energy, it's like you're giving food to a homeless person. It's like you're giving energy, like you're giving them $100 bill, but to their soul. And then they can't even explain why they're attracted. And then they feel like they got to give something back to you. That's the law of reciprocity. They feel like they want to give something back to you. Like, you know you're good at game when it's the girls that are calling you to have sex. When it's the girls that call you to have sex. That's when you know you have good game. When it's the girl asking for your number. When it's the girl asking you, hey, you want to go back home? When it's in the way that they do it. I know girls are never going to say that. But, oh, my home's alone. Like, it's the girl. If the girl is the one that's trying to give you, I don't want to get demonetized. That's when you have good game. That's the number one sign of good game. If she's the one that's progressing. Because like I said, going back to the dynamic of the $100 bill, if you're the one that's getting the $100 bill, and giving the 1, you're the one who's going to try and maintain that. If you're getting a 50-50, who gives a fuck? But if you're the one that's giving the $100 bill and the girl is the one that's receiving the $100 bill, you're receiving the $100 bill and giving you a 1, she's going to want to stay in that. How many guys do you think come up to her like that? No guys. It's just going to be you. You have no competition. So then the girl's like, oh, this guy just gives me money. Like, I'm obviously like, money is a metaphor here, guys. Okay, please do not give money to women. Please. It's a metaphor. But then she's in that relationship like, oh, I want to get a $100 bill all the time. Let me go see that. Oh, I need to give him something. Sex. Okay, that's how it is, because they want to continue to get from you. And that's fine. But again, the kingdom of heaven is within you. Because you have the energy of God inside of you, you have unlimited energy to give. So imagine you give her a $100 bill and she gives you a 1 and she values a $100 bill, but you can just print unlimited money. You're essentially giving nothing and everything at the same time. You're giving nothing and everything at the same time. That's the caveat to this. That's more advanced, but that's the truth. You're giving nothing and everything. You essentially have a printer that prints unlimited money, a $100 bill, and she gives you the $1 money because her printer, she also has a printer, but it's broken. So she values this energy, which is like free energy, like money if it's free, like energy is free. We all have it inside of us. You can get lead for nothing. Like, don't you understand that? Like, you're giving her everything and it's costing you nothing. Because it cannot be described. It's the energy of creation. The kingdom of heaven lies within you. Or is within you. I don't know the quote exactly. I'm not that fan of the Bible. But the energy is already there. The Tao is in every one of us. We are the Tao. We are the energy. So it's almost like you're siphoning energy from the world and giving it to her. Because the ability is not the energy. She values the energy because she can't get it. But she has the ability to get it. So it's not that you're producing energy. The energy is already there. And you're just like a conduit for the energy. So you're conducing the energy through you to the person, and the person like receiving it. Okay, that's pretty much how it is. Right now I'm doing that to the camera so it doesn't get like, whoa, like it doesn't get there. But I've been in rooms with guys that are like that and you can feel it. You can't even describe it, but you can feel it. Right now, I'm telling you, you can feel it with the camera. Like, if you ever have a guy that you like, go meet him. Go find a way to meet him. Find a way. Because it's nothing like you've ever experienced. The energy, the flow, like, you can actually feel the person. Not sexually, not in a depraved way. But, like, you can actually feel the energy coming off of that person. Now, they are siphoned for that energy. And also, there's 2 types of energy. There's good energy, bad energy, right? There's the energy of creation, the energy of God, and there's also the energy of the devil. And most people are tapped into somewhat other the energy of the devil. I don't have a way to draw here, unfortunately. You're just going to have to use your fucking imagination. But linking back to what I said in the beginning, that I'm looking at myself, but I'm still explaining to you, so stay focused on this. Imagine you have 2 extremes. You have the devil's energy and God's energy. The energy of creation, the bad energy. Good energy, bad energy. The energy of the soul, the energy of the devil. And you want to be at the extremes, right? You either want to be super enlightened or super demonic. Someone that's super demonic to me is, like, have you ever seen the video of that pastor who, like, smiles, but you can tell, like, his eyes are, like, super demonic? That guy's going to get a lot of money. The guy that's also, and a lot of pussy too, by the way. I'm going to get demonetized anyway. But I try to not get demonetized, and then I say things like the pussy. Like, what the fuck am I doing? Well, anyway. And it's so funny. And then you have the guy that's enlightened. He's also going to get a lot of girls. Don't want to get demonetized. And so why is that? Because we also have a theory here where... fuck it, I'm going to draw. Give me a second. Yeah, because I actually think okay, so I'm back now. This improvised setup here like 5 minutes later. It's a bit bad, but you can see the drawing, right? Can you see it, please? Okay, nice. So right here, right here. So let's imagine that there's 2 extremes here. Can you see it? Yeah, there's 2 extremes. You have this extreme and you have this extreme. And then you have this line here in the middle. Wait, give me a second. I'm going to do it better for you guys. So you have this extreme right here, and then you have... Can you see it? Can you see it? Can you see it? Okay, you can see it with this line. And then you have this extreme. and you have a line in the middle, and then you have a line here in the middle. Okay? And here you have the energy of, you could say the soul, and then the energy of the devil, right? The opposites. And people, and you want to be here or here. And most people are within these lines. They're within this middle lines. This right here. Jesus Christ, I can draw. Okay, this right here is the dead zone. Dead zone. Okay, most people are kind of within this line right here. And there are some people here. Okay, and most people actually oscillate between these two. They're like in this middle zone where they're oscillating. They're sometimes enlightened, sometimes with the soul, sometimes with this, sometimes with that. Okay, guys that are in pickup, they're most likely around this zone right here because they're trying to take. No, sorry, the opposite. They're here. They're here. I'm sorry. This is they're here. They're here. Not here. I got confused. They're here, right on this side right here. Why? Because they're trying to take, but they're not to the point of the pastor where they're so evil that they know how to pretend really well. Why? Because imagine this is a circle, right? People can only see how enlightened or how disconnected somebody is based on how much they are or how much they are not. For example, people that are here can only see people within this limit, but people that are here can see things with here. When I look at the video of that pastor, it's obvious to me that he is like the energy of the devil disconnected. But a girl will look at that guy that probably gets laid, and because the girl is here, right? Let's say the girl is, let's give her the benefit of the doubt and say that she's not disconnected. Even though, a little bit of a secret here, 90% of the girls that you see, they're here. 90% are disconnected. 90% are disconnected. They fucking suck, bro. They drink. They smoke. They're disconnected. They're here or here. They're disconnected. They're actually disconnected. Well, let's go back, right? So the girl can only perceive up to here. If she's here, she can only perceive here or the equivalent. So if a guy is here, to her, she doesn't know. So she thinks is good, right? So you want to be here or here. You want to be in this side or this side. Why? Because this side leads to action and outflow. Outflow. Okay, if you're here, you're meandering. That's the guy that goes to the bar or the club and... Wait, give me a sec. That's giving you the benefit of the doubt that you can even get here, right? But if you're here, then you most likely want to approach, but you can't. You talk to a girl, you go walk in the yeet, and then you're out of there, right? That's you oscillating between these two. This keeps you stuck. This keeps you less stuck, but still stuck. Because if you're here, you're most likely approaching, you're most likely talking, but you just can't connect because you're doing it from a taker point. People that are here are the people that are kind of enlightened. So they're like, oh, I'm with the energy of creation, and they don't even approach. They don't even take any action. But when you reach the exam here, you just don't give a fuck anymore. And you just go to take, and you become so good at faking it that people can't even tell the difference unless they're also super enlightened. But when you're here, you feel so inspired by this energy that's inside of you that you just want to take, you just want to give. Sorry, you want to give. And you just want to give as much value and energy and $100 bills as you want. So the way to explain it with here is that you're just so overfloated with the money that you just want to give $100 bill, $100 bill, $100 bill with nothing in return because you can produce endless money. And with here, you have the in the paradigm of the 100 but 1, but you want to take so much that you become very good at making people believe that you have the $100 bill. So this is like you have authentic $100 bills, and this is like you become so good that you find a way to fake $100 bills, and you give people $100 bills that are fake, but to the untrained eye seem real. Because if the guy only has $1 bill, he doesn't know what a $100 bill looks like, so he can get fooled. But someone who's here sees your $100 bill and goes, that's a fake, obviously, right? So you either become on this side or that side. Whatever you do, I don't give a fuck. But I suggest you come here. Because you don't want to sell your soul out. You don't want to be like those guys that are like super taker. You actually just want to be here. You don't want to be here. Okay, you don't want to actually be here. Be here. Like, you don't want to be here. Okay, because this is the dead zone. Like, what you don't want to be is be here. This is the dead zone. Anything, remember, the extremes are good. Okay, you're either going to be super enlightened to the point where you just want to give and take action, or super demonic to the point where you just want to take and become so good at faking it that people can't even tell. Little secret here. These guys are rich. And these guys are also rich. But it's these guys that are poor. These guys get women. These guys, no women. Friends. Friends. No friends. If you ever see someone that's super charismatic, has a ton of women, has a ton of money, and has a ton of friends, I guarantee he's either super enlightened or super demonic. 90% of the people that you'll meet are here, by the way, that are successful are here. It's only like 10%. No, it's like 30% are here. 30%. And then you have 70% here. And you want to know what's the funny thing? 99% of people are within these lines. That's why only 1% of the population is rich. Because 99% of the population is within these lines. And then it's like 0.3% of all the population with this 30 is actually here, and 0.7% is here. 0.7%, which is 70%. So 30% of 1% is 0.3%. So 0.3% of the population is enlightened enough to take action and get rich, and 0.7% of people are demonic enough to take action and get rich. But it's you that you're here, and maybe you make a little bit of money, right? But you don't make enough because you're not demonic enough, or you're not enlightened enough, by the way. Like someone who's here, right? It's like the guy, like the salesman in like the car dealership that's clearly just wants to sell, like doesn't really give a fuck, but he's not demonic enough to actually become good at tricking you. And the guy that's here is like the surfer that you meet, the bum surfer who has a ton of women, who just hangs around, just surfs all day and just sits there like, oh, I just want to surf, bro. I just want to surf. And yeah, that guy's in line, but he has all this energy, but he's not sharing it, so he doesn't really have that much either way. So don't be here. Don't be here. Either be here or be here. Okay? Okay, we're back. I just wanted to explain to you that with a drawing. It's hard to explain it here. I have to draw it. So, now that you know this, what do you need to do? Read ancient texts. I haven't read all of them by any means, but the few that I've read are actually pretty good. If you have the taste for it. You have to develop the taste for giving up energy. And if your soul is depleted, you have to realize that you already have the energy within you. And the energy comes through presence. Okay, presence is the energy that is going to get you to be able to flow the energy through you. This is hard to explain with words. Okay, this is something that you have to feel, but I'm going to try my best to explain. Okay? At least what I did. The most effective way to do this, you have to let go of your trauma, take massive action, but you also need to surround yourself with people that have it. Okay? Why? Because this is not an explain thing. I can't explain it to you through the camera. I can make you feel it through the camera. Okay? This is something that you have to see in person. If there's someone that you know, I'm not saying me because you will probably never meet me in person, but if there's someone that you actually like, that you actually look up to, that you can see has that energy, you have to go meet them. Not because of what they say, but because you need to be able to feel the energy. And then you get a reference point. You need to develop a reference of what it's like to actually be in that enlightened state, or that demonic state too. Okay, but you need to get in that energy. You need to get in with those people to feel the energy. Energy cannot be transmitted to the camera. That is the saddest thing. It took me so long because energy cannot be transmitted effectively. Watch this video. It's Nessun Dorma by Pavarotti. If you know who he is, he's an Italian opera singer, the greatest of all time, easily. Watch him sing that. The last note, that is the perfect example of the energy, unlimited energy of creation flowing through him. He's not singing that note. Okay? Watch that. That's the greatest example because it's so strong it actually gets transmitted. And you can see the clarity in the voice and the projection and the power. Okay? And then if you watch the three tenors, it's called, watch him compared to the other two guys. You can see it's not the same. You can see it's not the same. This is also known as release versus control, power versus force. You're trying to force it versus allowing the power to come out. Okay? That is what you need to work on. And you need to get a taste for it. You need to see it. You also need to do activities that put you in that state, put you in a present state where you have no choice but to get present. Fighting is a good one. Surfing is a good one. Climbing is a good one. Anything that brings you closer to death. Honestly. Do that. Please, metaphorically speaking. Please don't sue me. Metaphorically speaking. Okay? And then, after you do that, now, you just have to outflow. Okay? But this is something that, at least for me, it was something that I just got one day. I was hanging out with people that had it. And I was like, how can they do this? And then it just clicked. And now I can do it. So I don't even know how to teach you this, honestly. All I can say is that if you try, and I'm going to end with this. You already have it in you, if it makes sense. So it's not about getting it. Like, it's not about like getting it. It's not about it's kind of like opening the door, if it makes sense, and letting the energy out. So it's not about getting a soul. It's about letting your soul come out. Your soul is now locked with a key, right? All you have to do is open it. Okay, again, these are metaphors because it's hard to teach without metaphors. That's what you have to do. So if you want to learn how to do this, you don't want to go out with the frame of, let me see if I can acquire this new technique or acquire this new skill. It's more like, I already have it in me. Let me just allow it to come out. Release the beast. Unleash the beast. Release the doors. Open the doors. Let the energy flow because the energy is already there. That's what I'm going to leave you with. This is the frame that you should adopt. Just this one sentence. It's already in me. I just have to let it out. That is what I'm going to leave you with. It's already in me. I just have to let it out. Now, I'm going to be sharing things like this all the time. So if you want to actually get more videos like this, click the link below. Subscribe. Okay. Subscribe now. Do it now. Like the video. Comment something that you learned. I'm going to be posting this daily, videos like this daily, sharing my energy, and then you can see if you like it. If you get what I'm saying here, if you stay this far, then you have to subscribe because you know that I'm speaking the truth here. So just subscribe, like the video, comment on it, and I'll see you tomorrow.